Hi everyone, welcome to PFA Color Suite. So today we are looking at version 13.3. We have completely revamped the AI color grading pipeline. So now it's even better and you can train with your own data right now. So let's take a look at what has changed. So previously, when CinePalette AI, we do have the generate look, but it's recording everything automatically. Some they reflect while they are exploring the tool. They don't want their bad grades to be registered in the engine. They want to customize it. So we hear you. We are giving that options right now. So you can do your own AI training after you use all the tools, 135 parameters of them to create a look, and you can save it as AI training. Now I'm going to show you, I already trained 2 samples and how good you can get. So first, let's go to correction log. We click grade with AI, grade with AI, grade with AI, the exposure, correction, white balance, everything, leave it to AI to do for you. You don't have to spend time on it. Next, once done, generate look. One click, that's all it takes. But of course, it looks a bit gray. We can increase the Delogify a little so that clear the haziness in the shots, and that's good enough. I can generate look, keep generating, and every single grade will work because I train with the best grade I have. So it follows my taste. So your CinePalette AI will be differing from mine. So before I teach you how to create your own AI training, let me export my own training data on the desktop first, and let me clear all my training data. So now I have to train from scratch. So let's go to a different shot. Let me show you how powerful is our toolkit and how you can do your own training for CinePalette AI. So from now, it's your own personal assistant. Imagine how much time it can cut for you, okay? In terms of color grading process, you can take more projects, get more money. Why not? So correction log wise, just grade with AI, you will analyze the footage and clear. So every shot, they will move the sliders differently. And when you click second time, it's still the same because the analysis is the same. Same for correction exposure. Unless you change the AI influence, for example, I change AI influence higher, you will shift at a different degree to create a more contrasting look. And that's how it goes. So correction white balance, same. Now I'm a perfectly balanced image as starting point. So next, you realize our Delogify actually strip away the default manufacturer's saturation because I want to synchronize multi-camera. Sometimes in one project there are different cameras, Insta360, there are GoPro, at the same time there are FX3. Then how do you going to balance the shot? So we strip away the entire saturation phase, then you add it back in spectral contrast. I'm just going to show you 4 ways for you to saturate your image, and that itself is, I think, extensive enough for you to create any look you want. So let's look at film spectral contrast. But before that, let me turn on the scope so you have a better idea of how powerful our engine is. Next, we increase the red contrast by a little. Look at what instantly it does. It brings vitality back into the image. And at the same time, you can use blue contrast. This is channel contrast. So you're doing RGB level of channel saturation. So it doesn't affect your exposure as much. So this is the innovation we come up with. Next, once you have enough color information, next step, you want to saturate the image through 2 different engines. One of them is called ColorSwap. This is additive color engine. When you add saturation, it brightens your pixel, but it looks cheap. But it's very good for you to rotate the hues. There's another engine which my favorite is color density. It's subtractive color engine that's simulating the Beer-Lambert law of real dye. Light pass through the dye color, more color will absorb more light. So you get darker. So as you increase the global density, you see we are actually saturating the image, but look at how well it's actually pushing all the pixels and colors exponentially down. So when you do this, you can go back to your individual parameters. You can increase the rate density. You can increase all the different density that you want for the image. That contributes how richness in the color gets. Sometimes you always desire that rich, expensive saturation style. It saturates, but it just feel expensive. But at the same time, if you compare with ColorSwap, let's do the same thing. We increase global saturation, increase blue saturation, red saturation. Look at what happens. This is what 90% of saturation tools out there are doing, additive color science. But additive color engine is very superbly good in terms of shifting the hues. For example, you can change the hue to any colors at once. That's the power of additive engine. So we bring the marriage of both sides. There are times when to swap the hue, you use ColorSwap. When you want to just deal with saturation, you can use color density. Look at how well the before after gets. It is superb. Okay, there's another way of you saturating, which is film separation. It's saturating along the axis of the vector scope. So red and cyan axis, magenta and green axis. When I increase the red and cyan axis, look at what happens. It's stretching. Now it's blowing out. The moment the saturation touch this squares, it means it's clipped. So on display, it will ruin your image. So you can tone down your saturation overall, then control your look, and you can bring down the other magenta or whatever look to form a palette. So this is very powerful when you have a very distinct design or color you want to replicate. And of course, we have the best saturation tool, film printer lights, which is injecting colors only to selective areas. So when you turn on shadow protection mask, only those white areas are of influence. So what you can do is, for example, I want to add green that is not recorded on set, yellow that is not recorded on set. I can inject the colors so naturally into the image. Okay, so that's the power of this toolkit. I can add more blue, I can increase the blue, it's totally up to me. So that's the power of these entire saturation engines built in PFA Color Suite. You basically can fulfill any task you throw at it. Next, once I'm done, I'm very happy with the result. Let's go to CinePalette AI. Let me clear the training data, and now AI train the footage. Next, I go to another shot. I can, based on what I trained previously, I can generate look. But you realize if your previous shot is too saturated, then it will affect your another shot. Okay, so this is how important it is for you to fully understand. You can use the film look intensity to control how well the saturation looks. Look at how good it is. You can create different kind of variation and styles, right? But of course, you can clear all the training data. At the same time, you can import your training data. Then after that, you can do your generate look. Then you'll be a much better result comparing to previously, right? So now we can go to correction log. Always nail your corrections first. Then after that, you can generate different look and variations based on that, and you will work flawlessly. Okay, so that's how you can create different looks. Same for this shot. Once you have done your own training samples, you can do the same thing. Let's go to correction log. Grade with AI, correction exposure, train with AI, white balance, train with AI, and you use Delogify to get a nail the foundation first, then generate look. And look at how well every single grade worked. Teal and orange, teal and pink. Actually, I love this iteration of the entire shot as a corporate video. And also, we can go to the next one. You can go to correction log. Same thing. Every single process is so simple right now. So we are building really a AI color grading assistant for yourself. So I can generate look. It will create a different grade for me, and this works flawlessly. Compared to other AI color grading solutions, they always burn in the result. For us, you can fine tune, go to the parameters. If you don't like how it looks, I can change how the printer light works, I can change how the color looks, and immediately I get a different result. If I prefer this arrangement, I save it as an AI training in the future, I can call you back soon. And if I don't like, accidentally delete, I can import back from my desktop, then after that I can generate look again, so when there will be times you want to shift to different machine, and this is very powerful when you are jumping across machines. So you can export your brain and your logic and color grading behavior into this. So that's how powerful this entire engine is. You get your AI color grading assistant that can significantly lower the amount of time you need to do on manual color grading, and it's really, really wonderful. And after hearing the feedbacks, now we give you your proper stages and ability for you to customize and train your own AI. So I hope you like this episode. So you can download the free trial, which is on 11.3, but it's an older version of CinePalette, but you have all the 135 parameters. Play with it, see how powerful the tool is. And next, before you commit to want to buy a license, use the code ThankYou2026 for 45% off. And it's ending at the end of this month before the sky rocket the price up to 13.3. Okay, my name is Nash, Passion Fuels Ambition. I shall see you in the next one.